So me and Carrot are going to teach you how to turn this into this, a usable piece of pottery. Carrot, check it out. So I dug a little deeper down. Didn't exactly have to go 2 feet, maybe about 1.5 feet. We have this nice red clay here. It looks pretty good. Has a good plasticity. So here we have the red clay at the bottom, topsoil around the top, and a 5-gallon bucket full of that red clay. The next process we have to do is called water levigation to remove all the organic material from the clay, as well as the sand, the silt, and the rocks within the clay. These are just ancient methods that were used by Native Americans to process clay. So this part of the process is called water levigation. The idea is to use water to separate the clay from all the organic material. Then I'm going to pass it through this screen. This is just a quart screen. Traditionally, you'd use a piece of cloth or a cloth or linen to separate it. So I'm going to put the clay, bucket full of water. And this solution here is just red clay suspended in the water. We'll do that a couple more times, get as much clay out as possible, and hopefully fill this bucket up. The next process is to leave this for 1 to 2 days and let the water and clay separate. Since the clay is heavier than the water, it'll sink to the bottom. In a couple hours, you'll start seeing a clear layer of water over top of the clay. It's the next day, and as you can see, come on. As you can see, there's clear water on top and the clay is at the bottom. So what I'm going to do now is pour that water out and then pour the clay solution into this pillowcase and hang it up to dry. Alright guys, so the next part of the process is to mix up the clay. In this bag here, I have some sand. I got this from the stream across the street. Sand helps with the expansion and contraction of the clay. Make sure it happens nice and evenly, that way the clay doesn't crack. And it holds it together and keeps it strong. This clay here is a little bit more yellowish, grayish. This is a different clay, but the process is all the same. So for every 4 scoops of clay, I'm gonna do 1 scoop of sand. So I have 2 in this bowl already. I'm gonna do that. It's not rocket science, you're making clay. So the reason why I dried the clay, crushed it up, grinded it, is that way that this process is easier. Clay. I'm just gonna take a small section of it and make a small pot with it, or a bowl. So now that I have the bowl to a basic and a rough shape, I'm gonna let it slowly dry in a cool place out of the sun. So it's been about 2 hours air drying. The bowl kind of changed shape a little bit. It flattened out at the bottom, widened out. I have a couple of tools here. A wooden rib and a rubber rib. Just smoothing it out a little bit. So today I'm firing the pottery that I made, using the same bowl that I dug the clay out of as a pit. I'm going to let these coals burn down a little bit. I'm going to put this grate on top and use these bricks build around the pot, and then use this to cover it, and then put more wood on top. Hopefully it gets around 1500 degrees. That's the temperature that I need for it to harden and vitrify. It's been a couple of days, but here's the bowl. Came out pretty good.